Hi everyone. So as you know, I've been doing these reviews of the TV show Stranded on Honeymoon Island, and I've done a review when I first watched it for the first two episodes. I've then done another review, I think, or no, I went live to talk about it, and now I need to do a separate one, and it's called We Need to Talk About David. So David obviously was paired up with Innie. They're both Nigerian. I've figured it out now. They said they're both from the same Yoruba tribe, and they're both religious. So initially, I think, because now that lots of things have come out, the fact that he rated her free for most of the things, free for attractiveness, free for something else. He only gave her 4 for personality. He said she made him laugh, but all the other things were free. So that already said something, because he went on the speed dating and he knew that she wasn't up there in 4s and 5s. She gave him 5 for absolutely everything. Now, that's already an issue, because when a woman is coming in there strong, yeah, I love him. She actually put on the speed dating. This is after just meeting him for 5 minutes or something. He's my husband. She chose him. Now, the other issue is because they're both religious, they keep saying things like, yeah, God's plan, and this is what we're meant to be together, and that sort of thing. They're disregarding some of the basic fundamentals, which is, if you're not attracted to someone, and I could just go on and on for days. I had to literally there's 8 points that I made, 9 points about this guy. He just really, I'm fuming. And the thing is, remember when I did Temptation Island? Was it called Temptation Island? I think it was called. Or when I done that review, and there was another David on there, and he was also a vicar. Can you believe it? That there's now another religious guy called David who's still doing my head in. So the first thing is wasting her time. Yesterday was the final, and I was so upset for her. So in the final, what they had to do is they had to decide if they want to stay together. So what they would do is they would both give a little speech about, their experience, and then they would decide on a flare. The flare, if you do a green flare, says you want to commit. A red flare says you want to quit. Now, all the other couples, most of them, you knew which ones were going to stay together. They were doing their speeches and that sort of thing. So with Innie, I really, really felt, yes, when she was doing her speech, she was talking about, I want someone who puts me first. I need someone who values me. And I thought, yes, she's going to say quit. But then she just went green. She put commit. Now, I know deep in her heart, she knew that she'd made a mistake, because she even said, I think I've done the wrong one. She knew that there was no way he was going to say that he was going to commit to her, and he didn't. He just didn't. He did the red flare. The worst part about it was, even when she was crying in front of him, even when she was like heartbroken, there was nothing from him, as usual, nothing from David. He didn't say, he didn't go over and hug her. He didn't say anything. He basically said, I don't know what to say. Now, that tells you as much as you need to know. I think that he was leading her on from the beginning. I've said that. I said it in in this episode 2, when I saw the interaction between the two of them. I said he's leading her on. There was lots of chest bumping, fist pumps. He was doing a massage when he was actually lying on top of it, and it was completely not sexual at all. It was like he was a physio lying on top of a sportsman, giving a massage. There was very businesslike. He still hasn't looked her in the eye. He always looks away. When she had the call from her family, and she was talking all these nice things about her husband, when she talked to him, he had nothing to say. That's when she knew really that he's not interested. There's been no affection whatsoever, just because they're religious. I mean, he hasn't touched her. You don't see him holding hands. You don't see touch, no physical touch. No eye contact, no words that are kind of affirmation, nothing he's giving, nothing. And I think Innie knew that, but she just carried on anyway. I was surprised in the end that she actually said that she wanted to commit, because there was no indication at all that that's what he wanted. What else have I put? Yeah, so I said I felt her pain, but she was also ignoring the truth. She was in love, but she was not basing her decisions on behaviour. This is what some of us do sometimes. I've been there myself, not recently, but I've been there when I was quite young and naive. When a guy is kind of, I've been out with guys where they're making you pay for the meal, or where they're kind of always disappearing on the date, and then they're coming back with excuses, where they're turning up late, where you never go to their house. There's loads of signs, but you're ignoring it because you're thinking, oh, well, we have a good time together. Oh, but, he must like me because he's hanging out with me. No, go with the behaviour, not with the words. So I just felt that, when she was stood there and she was crying, and you know, it was really painful to see that he just didn't choose her. His face was just blank. I just think, to me, the type of man that he is someone you should stay away from, because he lacks emotional intelligence. You know, how can you not comfort someone that you've just spent 3 weeks on the island with? You might not have feelings for her, but I mean, she's cried over him 3-4 times. And the other part which really got on my nerves was he was using the excuse that she's lost herself, that she hasn't been herself for weeks. Then the minute she started getting herself back, everyone was like, yes, that's the Innie I like. And even he was saying, yes, she's back. Still didn't change anything how he felt about her, because he didn't feel anything about her from the beginning, and he never could. There's nothing Innie could have done to make him feel differently about her. But he should have been a man, not even a man. He should have not just lacked being courageous and just said to her, we're not a couple. And he should have flared out a long time ago, the same as what Murray did when he realised him and May were just friends. I just think he's put Innie through enough, put too much when he wasn't into her. But then I also think Innie should have saw the signs as well, and she knew, she saw the signs, she didn't want to believe it. So that's the end. It's the finale. I didn't watch all of it, I watched most of it. I knew that the couples that were going to stay together, Hannah and Sam, were just being pathetic. They've been close all the way through. They've been full on. They knew they were staying together. Then they started throwing in some bit of drama, saying, oh, because she didn't support him, because she cuddled his ex when the ex was upset, that means it could be the end of him. They knew they were not going to split up over something as silly as that, but they just had to put a bit of drama in. But yeah, overall, it was a fantastic series. Not fantastic, it was a brilliant series. It was very different from, Married at First Sight, Love Island. It was more mature. There was less scripting, I think, and staging. So for me, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear your thoughts.